Hello, hello, hello. Cat's always just cracking up while it's going. She's
That
always
one
hilarious.
especially gave me flashbacks to Ewok Hunt. I don't know why, so it's partially nervous
I was
laughter.
gonna say, I feel like I should be playing that on stream. Like it's just like my screen, it's just the screen of me playing it, and you two just talk, and I just kind of like say some stuff in the background every now and then.
We just hear
Um,
Alex like screaming
yeah,
in fear as he's being
or I'm just like,
hunted.
God damn it! I'm just like, I'm just really mad in the background. But it's like it has the sound of like coming from the other room, like a neighbor. So it's like
Yeah.
the mic is so far away from my voice that it just sounds like, that angry best friend next door.
Yeah.
But that
Let's
would be
do
funny.
it. It would be. It's on
Um,
brand.
but anyway, here we are. We did do one last week, but Kat wasn't here. She was busy
Sorry.
with
Neither
work
were
stuff
you.
and being an adult. No, I was here on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, but on Thursday. Is that what we're talking? Wait, was I not here on Tuesday?
No, you were here on Tuesday. It was
You
just
were
we
here on
didn't
Tuesday?
we just didn't do one on Thursday.
We didn't
Yeah,
do
she was here
Thursday.
Tuesday.
Oh yeah, she just didn't talk at the end. I just only remember the end.
Yeah.
The
Oh
last
yeah.
15 minutes is all I remember. Everything before that doesn't actually matter. So.
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
Let's do roll call here. If you're not in class by now, you will be considered late. We've got Alice, Wevan, Charlie, Wevan again, Bala of Mandalore. Everybody else is late, so you guys get full credit.
The OGs.
What is going on? What's everyone's thoughts on Andor so far? Like, are you guys kind of in the same boat as now you're actually coming around and enjoying it? Well, I mean, I know at least for us and our chat, we all generally love it, but the consensus is still pretty mixed. It's pretty divisive.
Is it really? Because I feel like word of mouth has been spreading. No, I feel like I guess it will take time. What have you seen that's divisive?
People talking about total watch time in comparison to other shows in the same period. Which I don't like to use that as a metric at all. It doesn't really make sense for me, especially when the data is generally, inaccurate in a lot of respects. Also, a lot of the charts that a lot of these people are talking about didn't even have House of the Dragon on too. So I was really confused, like why that wasn't there. If they just couldn't get the numbers for that.
This is gonna sound so dumb, but elaborate on total watch time.
So it shows like it has like an analytic and data showing how many like hours the audience has been watching, and it's like it has like 3.24, but the metric is in millions, so it's like 3.2 million hours, for example. It showed like Rings of Power as being like number 2, and then Andor down at like 8 or 9, behind like the Great British Bake Off or whatever.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So and then they were saying that metric is like a good indicator of a lot of drop off, meaning that people watch the first episode and kind of don't tune in for the rest. And then I kind of was also thinking about like, well, maybe they're just waiting for the whole show to come out. Maybe they just want to like binge. Maybe people just like binging shows, right? So I don't think that it's kind of the best indicator to show like live viewers each episode, especially with something like this where it's kind of relying on like the whole show playing out, right? Where it's House of the Dragon, each episode like builds towards something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's more of a show. It's like an hour long and there's a lot going on, and it's HBO. HBO is just better at what they do. But I think people are just waiting to binge it. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
That makes sense.
I don't know if it's a divisiveness. I think it's just lack of interest. Like I kind of I'm making a video somewhat about this, but you look at, I would say like when you factor in reception, like critical reception to Kenobi versus critical reception to Andor is like way more favorably viewed than Kenobi is, but Kenobi got viewed like so much more. Like it's the most watched Disney Plus show of all time. I just think it's kind of like Andor is more A24 and Kenobi was more like Marvel, like MCU, like, you know what I mean? Like,
which is why I think that metric is so like it's hard to really use that metric to really prove a point, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows that Kenobi is more popular, and it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. He should be more popular.
He has like Andor doesn't have 3 or 6 movies or
Yeah.
4 movies, right?
Yeah.
That are all about him, and he just has had one that was really successful in the Disney era. So they're like, oh, well, he was successful. Let's just give him a show, right? But I mean, honestly, it really does show like how he really he really took ownership over the show, right? Like, I mean, he's one of the executive producers, kind of like Ewan was for Kenobi. Only I feel like this was kind of more. I wonder if they just gave them their space. They're like, we're not really focused on this. Just go do your thing, and they kind of created something really good. Dare I say it? Like,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know what's worse. Like if that's true, if they just said, yeah, Andor, do whatever you want, or if they like actually focused on Kenobi and we're like, let's try really hard on Kenobi, and then that's what we got with them putting their effort into it. Or if it's the reverse and they tried really hard on Andor and then just said, yeah, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know which scenario offends me more.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there are 2 completely different helms of the ship here, right? Like Andor, I think I associate as a completely different team, correct? Like,
Yeah.
different writers, director, obviously Tony Gilroy, like totally external people versus I feel like Kenobi, completely different. Like nobody working on Kenobi had anything to, except for like Kathleen Kennedy. Other than the executives, nobody working on Kenobi was simultaneously working on Andor at all, correct? I feel like it's 2 different teams,
Yeah,
correct?
I'm pretty sure because they must have been shooting like relatively closely to
Yeah.
each other. But I the way I view it is like, so you've got like the Favreau and Filoni team, and then the Kenobi team was kind of like the B team of that team. Like they took like, it's like they took the backups and then they threw them together and they made Kenobi with that team. And then this is like the Rogue One team minus like Gareth Edwards to me. So it's interesting. It's certainly interesting the way they've chosen to do things.
Yeah, I was gonna say any like dramatic discourse I've seen surrounding Andor has been in regards to people pitting it against Kenobi now, because that's just how the fandom works, and
It's like,
this is what Tom and I were talking about on.
The bar is so low. It's sad, isn't it? The bar is so low. Like, it has to just be like a show that's worth watching with good writing and like good cinematography. And it's like, now it's like, if you have that, we're happy, and that shouldn't be. We should always be wanting to raise the bar, right?
Here's the thing: I don't know if the bar's I don't know, because I love The Mandalorian, and I would never look at that and say, wow, The Mandalorian stinks compared to. I wouldn't look necessarily at any. Well, I don't know, but I would. For example, I love Mando, but Andor. There's something about
Mando
Andor
wasn't
that's
what set the
still
bar.
just like
Mandor wasn't what put the bar down, right? Mandor was like kind of a starting point. I mean,
Yeah.
Mando was like Mando was like the starting point, right? And now we're getting into an area where it's like, oh, well, that was successful, and we only used the volume, and we didn't spend a whole lot of money, so let's kind of keep that up, guys. Keep doing what you're doing, and instead of really looking into what made that successful, and like how you can't just keep using that formula over and over again in certain aspects, as well as like taken away from what makes Star Wars, such as the music, right? Or even designing a prison. I don't know if you guys saw this all over, but designing a prison in Andor very similar to the Star Cruiser, which is $3,000.
I have seen those comparisons,
which is like the funniest thing. Like, I don't know why I never even thought about that, but like, I was
on program.
Well, what's really weird though is like in Andor, I was like, when I was watching, I was like, dude, the way he's getting fed and the way he's able to brush his teeth all right by his bed, like, I want that.
Okay.
Right?
I was rewatching a bit of it for of the video I'm editing, and we had that debate about how like the food, like you said,
okay, well, what is it?
The food does come out of a tube, like I was saying. Like the guy's like, if you want food,
what's on the plate?
Tube.
It looked like lasagna.
So what it might have been was he was saying that if you finish first, you get like flavor food or whatever. So they might have finished first and they were eating flavor food. But he pulls the tube out and he's like, this is where you get your food. Like you learn to eat it, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, like that's so funny.
There's a full-blown article about it. Oh my god.
There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, and it's
I thought it was
hilarious.
just like Twitter discourse. I didn't know it was official like articles. Oh my god.
We've got Jarn, welcome in. John Cena, welcome
Dee, dee,
in.
dee.
Nicholas, Zach,
Our friends.
welcome
Oof.
everybody.
Dang.
Kind of funny that the $5,000 Star Wars hotel looks way more reminiscent of the dystopian prison in Andor than anything else in Star Wars.
Honestly, dude, I think
Yeah.
I'd rather have the prison. Like, look at the
Yeah.
prison bunks compared to that. Like,
Yeah, the prison bunks are actually bigger. Isn't that crazy?
yeah. Like, I feel like I'm not claustrophobic, but I might be if I'm sleeping in that
Whoa, I didn't even think
Brought to you
about
by
that.
T-Mobile.
thing.
What does
Hey.
Chad think? Does Chad agree? Do you guys agree with this, or do you think this is just hate for the sake of hate? Because I think this is regardless of if you hate this whole concept or not, this is pretty fucking funny.
I think it's hilarious. Even the color scheme.
Yeah, they're like, how should we design the prison? And they're like, well, we did do that one thing on that Star Cruiser. Should we just copy that? Yeah, fuck it, they won't notice. Yeah.
I wouldn't have made the comparison unless somebody else made it for me, but now that I've seen it, I can't unsee it. It's
Yeah,
pretty
same. Like, I
pretty
really
hard
don't
to
want to go
get.
now. Like, I was at like a 4% or 5% of going, and now I'm at like a solid 1.2345%.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a very when you make something unattainable for me, it heightens my desire to partake in
Yeah,
it. So like
that's human nature. Though.
I'm
You're
very
not-
much like
You're not special, Cat. That's human nature.
I know, but I'm saying like I should be against it, but every part of me still wants to really go to it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we just need to get invited and then like make
I know,
do
right?
fake TikToks about how much we love it.
Invited. It seems like we need to get arrested.
Oh,
Like, you're
Boom.
right. Like, I can't unsee it now. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like how the sequel Stormtrooper helmets, their design reminds me of that like when you text and you do like it's not a smiley face, but it's like the colon and then the 3. It's like that little squiggly line.
Yeah.
That's what their
Yeah.
helmets like remind me of. Like they're like the line, how it goes like, "Ooh."
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And I can never unsee that now. So
Oh. Well, now it's seared in my brain. It's seared in
you're
all of our
welcome, Kat.
brains.
You're welcome.
Princess
That's
property.
why I'm here.
Oh gosh.
So
What? Did anyone ever find the...
they get chandeliers. You for 5,000 you get chandeliers, but that's
Oh well, that's worth it then.
yeah.
Wait, is that a picture of the food?
This is a picture.
In that
Wait,
tweet?
what can you see? Am I showing the right thing? Oh, it doesn't show the pop-ups. Oh, interesting.
Can you
I
not
have
see
I have it
it?
popped up and it's only showing like the broad tweet. Okay, so like I had this tab up, but it doesn't show it on StreamYard.
Oh, yeah, no, because I can see a picture of what looks like a school lunch. I didn't know if that was the
Yeah,
food.
so this is a comparison of the two things, like side by side. Like these are all comparisons of the Star Cruiser and the prison. So Star Cruiser, there's this like dark hallway. Here, there's obviously like the hallway for prison, and then here we got the cafeteria, and here we got a cafeteria. Only they get chandeliers on this side.
Fancy.
So for $5,000, I think that's worth it. Here there's just a lot of lights and cool LEDs in the bottom, but I mean.
They have like Labor Days where they're the guests are in there like building those things.
Oh my god.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. They should just lean into it at this point.
They should just be like, you know what? Really, we wanted to send you guys to prison and have you spend money and enjoy it because we're evil. And that's just what we do. Sorry about it.
Like, they have to go like this, like every time they
Oh my god.
and they're in the main lobby. And...
Oh, I thought we had a problem here, huh?
No, Mr. Mouse.
Oh god. I value my health. I stay away from stuff like that would break my blood vessels in my eyes from rage. I have spoken. Whoa! If Charlie gets mad, then you know that there's a problem. They should have an advertisement saying, "Do you want to see what it feels like to be an Andor?" Well, for $5,000, they just rebrand. They just completely rebrand
Andor.
Andor, a prison experience.
The prison barge.
See if you can break free.
Do you want to
Oh.
get treated like a subhuman? Well, fork over $5,000 and you can.
Kat, were we talking about the like those haunted houses that you sign waivers that you like? It's like a pain thing where you can actually die, kind of deal.
What?
Did we talk about that? Was
I
that
think
you or
we
was that someone
talked
else?
about it a little, but I don't recall the part where you can prove your death.
Don't I just have like murder conversations with you all the time? I don't remember. No,
Well,
but
this
yeah,
one just
it
had
was,
context.
This does
at
seem like
least.
you.
it was like no, it's more Amanda. She was bringing it up. I don't know if it was you that we had the conversation with, but we had this long, deep conversation. Like Amanda brought it up. She didn't know enough about it. Somewhere in Texas, but then like next thing you know, her friend was like, "Oh yeah, my friend did it. She couldn't get past the second round because they tore her fingernails off and it hurt." I was
Oh.
like,
what?
what? It's like,
That is a
nope.
straight up torture mechanism. Wait, what
Yeah.
in the world? How is this legal? This sounds like the Oculus. All right, correct me if I'm wrong. I swear, we're living in a dystopia. I just saw. I could be
Oh
spreading
yeah, I
misinformation.
know what you're talking
The
about.
creator of
Hold
the
on.
Oculus designed
see
one
if I
where
can
you will
find it.
die. It will like
Yeah.
crush your skull if you actually die in the game. What is the purpose?
It's
Why are we
meta.
living like this?
If you die
It's
in the
meta.
game, Cat, you die in real life. It's common knowledge.
Oh my god. Wait, it's meta? You just said, Alex, meaning you would
Yeah.
just die in the metaverse?
No, you'll die in real life. That was the whole
Oh.
point. She's
Just
like,
imagine
she's like,
someone live streaming that.
how are people gonna understand the consequences of their actions if they don't die with their headset on? I'm just like, what? And like I guess, quote unquote, they're trying to make it to where when you are inside of it and you have the helmet on and you have like the sensors on that like target your brain cells that can cause you to go brain dead because of you crashing the car. There's a way for that to make it so like you can't move your hands up and remove it. Like we're gonna be
Ah!
yeah,
you should
isn't that
play you should play Ewok Hunt with that.
just get stabbed to death and just
Oh my
feel it,
God.
Alex
all of it.
dies. Not clickbait. You
Not
Oh
clickbait.
my God.
you will cry.
We tried to sacrifice Cat, it didn't work out.
She wasn't wearing the headset properly.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, could you imagine that? Could you imagine like just walking in on your kid, like instead of like all the other miscellaneous things you could be walking on your young kid with, but he's like has the Oculus on and he's like driving and he's like "Rrrr."
I wish he would have just watched porn like a normal
Yeah, I know.
teenager.
I know, seriously. Like
Oh my God. What is the purpose of that though?
Death.
What?
it's like it's not legal
Don't
to
worry
obviously
about
the
it.
public yet, and I don't think it ever will, but it's like that very concept. Like imagine they're like, no, we're designing it to help like our military and everything. It's like, yeah, but what if they all die because they fail in their training, right? Like imagine
Literally,
that.
like I don't see any other purpose behind it besides raising the stakes to a point of no return. I don't know, but this is horrifying. I mean, the only game I would ever willingly do that with is like The Sims. Like that's it. Because you can cheat death in that game pretty easily, but anything else, I mean, it could be I could see like I don't know, I get scared of like doing campaigns on video games where you're playing in the mode where you literally have to start all over if you die. God forbid you actually die.
Yeah, like in Halo when you had the I don't remember what skull it was, but like if you die, you have to start over. So
Yeah.
like people would do those runs where they would try to get all the way through without dying. And if you die, you start all the way over. You got to do it all. Like you spend like I don't know, like hours, right?
Yeah.
And I can only imagine that. It's like only here, it's like there is no starting over. You're just dead, bro.
Dude,
Yep.
you should wear that when you play StarCraft.
It's like, damn it, I lost. Like you actually get mad. Like you're typing, you know, like on like you're saying you suck, get off, uninstall, and then you're like, and then the other person's like, die.
AG Edits
Oh
has
my
been
God.
killed. The sucky part about that is that you would know that you were gonna die because like you could just feel the game slipping away.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, it would be like Squid Game, right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh no.
Yeah, that's an
This
idea for Squid Game season 2. Do
sounds like
something
a
that.
Black Mirror episode.
It does. That would be like one of those, like if you're on death row, you have to get through this game with this headset.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
That'd
would be
be
pretty cool.
sick, dude. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's demented. They would
Be
never
like
do
Death
it.
Race or something. Who knows?
Yeah, like a TV show where they take death row people and like if you can get through this like labyrinth game, like this impossible game, like you can
Or
serve
it could
life in
be
prison or something.
it could be beyond that, where it's like a Saw premise, where like people who just do bad in the world and they don't get to face the repercussions, like bankers, doctors, whatever, you know, and they just grab them and they put them all and they have to like use their smarts to survive. Right? That'd be so cool.
God.
Is there something wrong with us? Like, do you ever think like we just suggested some pretty messed
With the
up
three
ideas.
of us.
Not so much you,
It's-
Kat, just like
It's
us
only
two.
founded on reality. Like Bayla said, like it'll be a reality. Give it a few years. Like I unfortunately don't doubt that. Like we're only talking about it because somebody else started it. We didn't conjure these ideas. Somebody else started it by literally weaponizing a VR headset.
Cat was behind it the entire time.
It's a Cat's creation.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Cat's actually a genius. You never watched Squid Game?
Ooh. Consider yourself strong because that was like everybody succumbed to that one.
Oh, yeah, I watched that all in one night. I was up to like 4:30.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was up to like 4:30 watching that. I couldn't stop. I loved it.
I liked it. I think it fell off at the end though.
The last episode was pretty bad, but like everything else was great. Like it's like the mystique about it. Like you don't know who's doing it, you don't know what it is. You assume what it is, but you don't know what it is yet, and you want to know like where it's gonna go. And you actually ended up liking the characters. You wanted to see what the next game was gonna be. It was like exciting, right? Like
well, it was also like life or death. So once you kind of got over the
stakes
like,
are high.
yeah, it was extremely tense.
Cat
But
likes her stakes high.
I will admit, I think it would have been better as one season. I think there's a second season in development, correct?
Yeah.
I feel like they should have just left it at one, but it's gonna be. They set the bar high. It's gonna be tough to beat, and I don't know if they're gonna follow the same premise or I don't know.
I mean,
It's so
didn't
tough
didn't they
because
kind of get caught in a way because of everyone that got out. Wasn't it kind of like more? Then they have to, or they're gonna have to move it, right? It's gonna have to be a completely different thing.
yeah, probably. You're right.
The main guy got out because he won, but I think the other dude
Oh
took
no,
over.
the other dude got shot.
Yeah,
The son of the leader got shot. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Never mind. I forgot.
I just feel like it's gonna be difficult for them to capture lightning in a bottle again because I think most of the draw was like, oh my god, like what game is next? And then even at the
Yeah.
end, like I said, like the
Yeah.
actual Squid Game was terrible. It was just like it was just them fighting to the death basically. And so
This is the namesake of the show.
you don't need to nail that or anything. But yeah, I fell off hard at the end. I think it'll be fine, but I don't see it being like as sensational as it was.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing. Part of it was the whole shock factor. Like, I remember when I first watched it, having no clue why people were freaking out about it. And then I finally saw the first episode, and I remember like the word of mouth spread like wildfire. Because first thing I did was I told Tom, I was like, sit down, you are watching this with me. And because it's so like there was nothing else like it. I can't think of another show except for stuff like Black Mirror, perhaps. But in terms of the concept, it really wasn't a league of its own in terms of like very uncharted ideas.
It's kind of like Saw, Alice. It's like got elements of that, but it's more of like a game show that all the contestants like are competing in, and they die. And if you die, you like if you're eliminated, you die. So it's.
Yeah, they just find people who can succumb to the idea of like wanting to become rich and whatever, and they just kind of use that against them. And then they target like the lowest end of society, because obviously no one's going to give a shit if they're gone, and the authorities aren't going to do anything because they probably own the authorities. You know, it's one of those kinds of power structure. I mean, maybe even like a what is it? A commentary on capitalism, if you will, or something. I don't know. You can go deep into all of that, but it's just like it was such a cool idea, and the fact that it was foreign too. Like honestly, foreign shows like immerse me a little bit more because they're foreign and they're not. You don't have a bunch of English speakers everywhere, so it's like the idea that it's like a different world, if you will, right? And that's something that was really intriguing to me too, right? So
I remember thinking like, please don't make an American version of this show. Like, for the love of God, don't do
I
it.
know, and they just have
Well,
like
wait, Netflix is actually.
it's just like The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Oh my god. I think Netflix.
That would
though,
be
'cause-
so bad. That would be I can't imagine anything worse than that.
It's like the British Office, right?
They have James Corden in there too.
But the British Office was the original.
I
one,
know,
was
but it wasn't
not?
good.
That was one of the few like American remakes where it was like, okay, this is maybe better. I don't know. I can't speak for sure because I never saw the British one. But
Neither have I.
Didn't the episode drop earlier in the day last week?
I
in
don't
regards to Andor,
think so.
Oh yeah, it did. It was like 11:52 when it dropped.
But it always drops at that time. It always
Oh,
drops like
yeah,
10
yeah.
minutes early.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we just played until like. That's right. We just played the game till late.
The Rock finds a way. And
Oh.
that'd be pretty funny. British humor is very different. I like British humor.
I love British humor. It's very dry too. It's beautiful. A lot of people I work with are British, and they're just very like passive aggressive and dry with their delivery. Like they're not just blatant.
And they say they say in it a lot.
Yeah, they also never laugh at their own jokes. They just say it like normal conversation, and then you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's so weird because like I'm the most hilarious person that I know. So I, I laugh at all my jokes. But yeah, I could never be British.
I feel like Americans laugh at their own jokes. I feel like we all laugh at our own shit.
We're pretty self-deprecating too.
Yeah. We think we're the funniest ones, and no one else is funnier than us.
British accents are pretty sweet, not as good as Irish or Scottish though. I like a good British accent.
I like Aussie accents.
I was gonna say, Alice, I think you're winning. I think you beat them all with your.
I mean, Irish
Aussie.
is pretty close because it's so like there's a lot there going on there, and it's really hard to replicate that accent, unless you're from there. What is Drinker? Is he Scottish or Irish?
He's Scottish. Drinker.
I love when Kat like starts like things. Her eyes always
I have
go up
to
to the
look
ceiling.
up into the distance.
She has to try to find God.
Yeah.
England is pretty sick in Ireland. Omega.
Oh, that's coming up pretty soon, right?
You know. So on Theory's stream yesterday, he tried to invite people on, and everyone clicked the link. So it was like 100 people in the back room, and it overloaded his thing, and his stream was like blacked out for like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. And then it was just one person that was like clear. And it was like one of the people who clicked the link. And it was like this chick who has a YouTube channel, and she was talking and she had an Aussie accent, and everyone in the chat was just saying, say Omega, say Omega, say Omega. and then she just did all the names for like 10 minutes. I was like, dude, this is the best Star Wars Theory podcast I've seen ever.
So that's what happened, because during Dork Discourse tonight, everyone was saying like, oh, don't share your link like Theory did and lose your stream or something. I was like, what happened?
He should already know that that's gonna happen. I don't know what he thought.
Has anyone ever accidentally overloaded StreamYard before and tested it?
I mean, I don't think anyone shares the StreamYard link with the audience. Right?
I don't know.
I'm British. I think 90% of humor is either dark or sarcasm, and as said, we just use it in conversation naturally. Yeah, it's great. Like you guys are just one big. Well, that's a bad way to put it. One big joke, not one big joke, but I meant to say like everything you guys say always has some kind of underlying humor or whatever. At least everyone that I've talked to that I've worked with in the industry, at least, is always just very funny and very childish. So they're fun to be around for sure. Yorkshire accent is funny. What's Yorkshire accent sound like?
Don't worry about it.
Hey, that's the thing that we only say to Kat.
We
only sacrifice Kat. We only say that to Kat.
When you said Yorkshire accent, I was
thinking Yorkshire Terrier.
Dog?
Yeah,
I used to have one of those.
I want a Yorkie so bad, dude.
Why don't you get one, bro?
Because we have 2 fucking cats.
Yeah,
and if we get a dog, it has to be a Doberman or a golden doodle. because that's what she wants. And that's what
Two
she's gonna
very
get.
different breeds.
Yeah.
Very different. Interesting.
I'm more on the golden doodle teacup for me. But she's more on the Doberman because she had 2 Dobermans before. So
2 at once? Oh
no,
my.
no, no. She's had 2 total.
Oh, I was gonna say
They don't live very long. So
one is enough. Those
Dude,
things
get
are bigger
a
than me.
get a tortoise, dude. Those live forever.
That's a
Like,
commitment.
there's just one crawling like on my.
I've got 2 of them, bro. They're great.
You do?
Yeah, I have 2 tortoises.
Have fun.
I told you that, didn't I, Kat? Or no?
No, I didn't know that. How big are they?
One of them's like the size of my hand, and then the other one's a baby, so it's like it fits in my hand. But yeah, they're
Oh.
small. They'll always be small. So that's
And one has spiked shells like Bowser.
that's not
really-
true.
really
that's,
cool.
that's called pyramiding, and that's terrible for them.
And
Oh.
he breathes fire too. I don't know if you guys knew that.
I wanted to answer this. I don't think he's gonna survive, as much as I hate to say it. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt, but I think he's gonna die.
We
Well, he has to
know.
die.
We
He has
know
to
for
become
certain.
Plagueis. I mean, I almost.
Oh
said
my
He has
god.
to become
Snoke.
Why did I call him Plagueis? I was like in the zone of him being
Because he
Plagueis.
should be Plagueis.
Yeah. What time is the episode coming? It is coming.
In probably
all
like
you need to
20,
know.
20 minutes.
Soon.
That's all you need to know. It's coming.
Patience,
coming too.
Viceroy. She will die.
Winter is coming.
Winter's
Where's our-
here. We're
Where's
in
all of our
daylight,
memes?
daylight savings now.
I mean, we need to add a lot of memes.
Oh, I
Andy
got
will
it.
survive. He's Snoke Wizard.
No. He literally had to come out and say, like, these 2 characters are not related, right? I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
okay,
he
Andy. Okay, Andy. Best arc on Tales of the Jedi, Ahsoka's or Dooku? Oh, Dooku's easily.
Yeah.
I love Ahsoka, but Dooku's easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think everyone would agree with that. I think it was
Yeah.
cool seeing more of Dooku because we've seen so much of Ahsoka already, right?
Yeah, and like her intro episode was a little more tame. It wasn't necessarily even like about.
I was kind of
her.
like, oh no, is it all gonna be like this? Because they're so short, right? And then after that, every episode was great after that.
Yeah.
But
No, it's definitely an interesting way to start the series.
I was thinking this, like, I think if you're showing, like, if that just like a standalone, like for someone who's never seen it, I mean, I guess that first episode is kind of like an intro in a way, right? To Ahsoka. If you don't know anything about Star Wars, like if I just told my parents who aren't like avid Star Wars fans, right, to go watch it, would they need that first episode to kind of be like, oh, so she was powerful when she was a kid, and now we get to see her with Anakin. It's like, is that kind of like we need a progression there? Otherwise, people are gonna be like, what's happening?
I was hoping that we'd see Plo Koon discovering her as an infant.
Right?
Oh,
I know we kind of saw like glimpses of that in Clone Wars, but like I just it was a fine episode. Like it had pretty visuals. I just really like, if you're doing 6 episodes for a season and they're only like 15 minutes long each, prioritize something else in my mind.
Yeah.
I kind of felt that way with all the Ahsoka episodes, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
I felt like I probably wouldn't have done Ahsoka, but if we were doing Ahsoka, I would have taken the 3rd episode and I would have like stretched that into 3 and I would have fleshed that out more, because that's probably what most people were more interested in, is like what happened to Ahsoka after she left Rex after the Clone Wars, like instead of like the training and then the infancy. Like it just was kind of meh to me.
Yeah,
it was almost like he. I was just thinking about this. It's almost like Filoni wanted to prove to everyone that Ahsoka like really went through her trials and tribulations to become a great character. Right? She's not just some written character for being powerful for the sake of being powerful. And like they blatantly made that clear that she went through the ringer to be able to hopefully come out on top against all those troopers. She's not just Ahsoka for the sake of being Ahsoka, right? I think he really wanted to hammer that in everyone. Like, she's not a Mary Sue, she's amazing and everything. Not that I ever thought she was.
Yeah,
but like
I'm
sure it was like maybe he's like weirdly insecure about that part and he wanted to like kind of make that blatantly clear now. I don't know. Who knows?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I kind of can see that because I had never like questioned it. I was like, oh, she's
Yeah.
Anakin's Padawan. Like, of course she'd be skilled and whatever. But it did feel like he was just trying to over explain, like, see
Yeah.
guys, this is how she survived because she
Mhm.
she had this very specific
Oh.
training where they were all surrounding her, just like they would do during Order 66.
Yeah, it kind of felt like an afterthought to me, TBH. Like that whole training sequence. Like, I don't think anyone ever, people look at, for example, Rey as a Mary Sue and use Ahsoka as this is how you actually like
Yeah.
set up a character in general that has very like a clear journey and you can see their progression. Like, I never thought where Ahsoka ends and where she starts out, like there's transformation like in there. Like, she's not
There's a lot.
always
Yeah, I agree. But
So I
it
don't
just it really rubs me like he's insecure about it, you know? I don't know. But maybe that's just
maybe.
me.
I mean, that episode was worth it for that last 30-second realization there about
Yeah.
what they were walking into. Like, it was like, sweet Lord, I didn't think I was going to feel that pain again, but here we go. So, but no, I agree. Like, the Ahsoka novel, they did a very watered down rendition of
Oh,
like
yeah.
just only one of the major events that happened in that book for her third episode. You're so right though. Like, they could have split that novel itself into 3 different episodes because so much other stuff transpires. Like, I am glad they at least touched on how she and Bail get connected and hint at how she becomes Fulcrum and
Yeah, because
whatnot.
I don't even think they had she didn't attend Padme's funeral in the book. They added that, which was a good addition, but
Yeah, for sure.
it felt like they took the spark notes of the book and like even trimmed the spark notes down and like just made an episode out of it. It felt so rough. Like, I know they were only like 15-minute episodes, but like the Dooku episodes managed to feel for the most part like a complete narrative. And the
Yeah.
Ahsoka episodes just didn't. Like, they felt more like those animated cartoons that they put out that followed all the female characters where they were like 5 minutes long each. I don't remember what they were called. But it felt more like that, where it was like really short, rather than like 15 minutes, like the Dooku episodes felt like.
Yeah, the Dooku ones felt extremely fleshed out. Like,
Yeah.
they exceeded 15 minutes. Like, I
See,
can't
Alice,
comprehend how you're able to. I was trying to think, like, how are they executing this full-blown story in the 15-minute
Yeah.
time frame? Like, what in the world? Because I was just so
Yeah.
mind blown.
100%. But later, Alice, we should have like a video play when she has to go. We should have like some
I
funny thing
know. She deserves
like
her
a bunch
own
of kangaroos
jingle.
bouncing or something. Who knows? I don't know. I think
it should just be the shot of like Ahsoka walking away from Anakin in the Clone Wars as she's
Aw.
leaving the Jedi Order.
like, oh, Alice is going. Hold on, cue it. Yeah. Well, we totally should. Because she always has to leave us, you know? It's
I
kinda
know.
Oh, I wanted to talk about this too. Like, Cyril, he
Oh.
made me super uncomfortable in that,
Simp
like,
Lord.
yeah, like just like a creepy like stalker who doesn't understand boundaries. Like, I don't know
A
if they were
simp
intentionally
lord?
going for that vibe,
Yeah.
but it was like, whoa, dude, like,
Here's
whoa.
my theory. They showed like the moment after for him after Dedra walks away, and his moment after is he looks very proud of himself. He kind of has this like conniving smirk on his face a little bit, if I'm
It's like,
remembering
I got her.
correctly. Right? Like, I think he's not stupid. I think he's really trying to just weasel his way into the front burner of her mind so that he's like living in her brain rent free. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was all like a manipulation of his, like, because girls inevitably, like, she probably was thinking about that. You could tell she was rattled. She went in, she was like distracted. She got that news like right away. Like, you could tell though she was still kind of like, it clearly caught her off guard and she was thinking about it. And I'm sure he's just gonna be like replaying in her brain now. Like, he left his mark. I feel like he's doing this like intentionally to stay on her radar. I feel like he has solely self-serving purposes. I don't know if he necessarily actually is that obsessed with her romantically, but I think he's totally just trying to like imprint his way onto her.
They're gonna be a power couple.
I don't know. He does not seem like her type. I don't
No.
think.
Who does seem like
The
her
real
type?
question is, who is their kid in the saga?
Oh,
Oh,
Snoke. Their kid is Snoke. I think something's gonna happen to her aide, and then he's gonna take the place of her aide, and he's gonna be her new aide.
Ooh.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if he's gonna be responsible, but it's kind of like they've been giving her aide a lot of screen time for like
Just
a
an
minor
aide.
character, you know? It's just something to think about.
Curious.
I think he has a learning disability, and then you go to I think he's force sensitive. Which one is it, Nicholas?
Are they one and the same? That's hysterical. I don't know. We'll find out. I want to ask your guys' opinion because, like, I'm hoping they've built up to this massive prison break, and I'm kind of hoping that they execute it similarly to Aldani, where they don't break away for the episode. So, like, they focused solely on that arc and didn't cut away till like the last 10 minutes to Mon Mothma and then Luthen's reactions afterwards. Like, I kind of hope this episode is solely just prison break today. What do you think?
Yeah. What is this? Is this
It's
9
10,
or 8?
10.
It's 10?
Yeah.
We're already on
Yes.
10? Okay, so it's a different director for the last 2 episodes. So this is gonna be the ending of
Yes.
something. And then we're gonna get like a new, like the finale, like the 2-episode finale.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll see what that leads up to. Hopefully it's something super exciting.
That's surprising. I just learned tonight from Tom. I didn't realize it was a 2-part finale, but I just did learn now. I didn't know it was a separate director. It's not. Who's the director for the final 2? Do we know?
The one who did the second arc, after the escape, the heist. The director who did the heist is doing the last 2.
Oh, Schnikes. Oh
So-
gosh, that's a good omen.
Gotta welcome in John Cena and Jarn. They just joined the Discord.
Let's
Welcome,
go.
welcome.
guys.
We need like a little thing to play when people join the Discord and become members. We just played John Cena.
It's John Cena.
I'll figure out what to add for everyone who joins the Discord and becomes a member, and then I'll play it here, and then you guys can tell me what you think. And if you're just like, no, that's terrible, go fucking die, then I'll be like, okay, I'll change it. I'll add something else.
I don't think you would find anything that would be that bad, but we'd have to
You
see.
do like the Kylo Ren sounds like a TIE fighter every time he screams. Did you remember that meme?
No, I don't know.
Like, it's still the funniest thing. I play it whenever I'm sad. It just makes me laugh.
Frederick's about 10-ish minutes, probably. It usually drops 10 minutes earlier than they say it will. So for us, it's like 11:54-ish or 11:52-ish. So just 10 minutes.
Woo!
10 minutes.
Do you guys remember? Did this happen for you as well? For the finale, final episode of the Clone Wars final season, it was supposed to drop. I was still living on the East Coast at the time, so I was staying up till 3 a.m. But they dropped it at
Damn.
1. They dropped it at 1 a.m. Do you guys remember that at all? Like they dropped it early, just like out of the blue.
I don't remember what I had for lunch yesterday.
Wait, this was the finale of season 7?
Yeah, like final episode of the Clone Wars. I remember because Tom and I were staying up, and he texted me at 1 a.m, like it's out.
I remember
like,
the
"You're
Kenobi. The Kenobi early drop.
That's true.
Because people got to see it before us while we were
Yeah.
actually at the goddamn event. But
I would have been so salty. I'm not gonna lie. If I were there and I was this close, we were this close.
we were this close to
I
greatness.
can't believe you took a picture with you and he like already knew what was gonna happen in that series.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yeah. I think that's why he was very lukewarm to me and very open with Amanda, because he's just like, man, I know this guy's gonna hate it and he's gonna want to crucify me, but she's just gonna love everything I put out. So
I can see it in his eyes. He actually watches the podcast. He's like,
Oh my god.
he was so much happier to see Amanda than he was with me. I was kind of sad about that. I'll never forget that. I was like Obi-Wan. He's like, how are you doing? And he didn't even say hello there. And then I was like shaking. I was nervous. And then Amanda comes up and like he gives him a big hug before he takes the picture. And like,
Did you call him Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
That's probably why. Like,
Maybe.
and then I like just I don't even remember. I did say a couple things to him after addressing his name. I don't remember what I said at this one. I'll have to ask Amanda because she remembers everything. But
was it
I was so excited.
an Obi-Wan like Dex gives him where he's like Obi-Wan?
I just have a Dex cosplay on.
Yeah.
OMG, that would be legendary.
And he's just like, hello, sexy.
hello, Dex.
Oh my god. Now
one
I'm
of them
determined.
cloners. Camino. You just
like
commit to it.
He's just like, just take the fucking picture, dude.
He's like,
I can't do this
"Jesus
right
Christ."
now. He's like, I don't even know what you're doing.
He turns to the 8. I told you none of these freaks.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was actually nuts though how fast his photo op sold out though, you know. Like
Oh,
a
wasn't it like
machine.
3 minutes? Like
yeah, I think
it
the
went live.
VIPs were like 30 seconds and then everything else was like maybe like 2 to 5 minutes. I don't know like the exact time, but it was between that. It was like it was announced and then like 10 minutes later it was like we're all booked.
Yeah,
The
it's
announcement
quick.
came out. Like the guy went to go like grab a soda and then come back and then he's like, "Oh shit, I got to make the announcement now." You know? So yeah.
Dude, those lines were freaking chaos. Like I remember I was like a little late to my Giancarlo photo op, and the lines were just like, it's like I asked the dude, I was like, what are we doing here? And he's like, yeah, you're just stand in line,
He's
man.
like, I don't actually know where you're supposed to go, but just here, just go over there.
Yeah, he's like, I'm like, all right, dude.
That Tamora Morrison was like insane because he took way too long with everyone. So like everyone who was booked for certain time slots like had to get moved to the next day. And then even then he got moved to the next day. And then it got to the point to where there was like 3 days worth of people like in a line trying to get to him. And some of them never even got it. So they had to go get like their refund. And I was just like,
he spent so much time with some
it was like, why
people.
didn't they just like not make it so it's like everyone's like an assembly line? Like, why don't they just like limit the amount that you could sell, right? And I don't know. It's interesting.
I mean, that's nice on his part that he like he looked very like I loved how in all the footage he has his phone, like he looks just as excited to be there and he's like videotaping everything, like vlogging the whole thing. Like that's so cool that he didn't purposefully hold up his line, but like was wanting to spend quality time with people.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. He seemed to be like the guy that was like so the most into it out of anyone there. Maybe Giancarlo, I don't know. But
Giancarlo's cool. I don't know, like he did the whole like box cutter thing for me, which was really cool. But yeah, like he was a nice dude.
Was it an actual box cutter?
Yeah, it was. I would have brought one because like I had thought of this.
That's so interesting that like they just let that happen.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way they're gonna let me bring a box cutter in, so I didn't. But
you're like, sir, why do you have a box cutter?
You wouldn't get it.
You wouldn't get it. It's like, well, you need to tell me now, or we're gonna have to.
It's like, you wouldn't get it.
It's like, okay, I want Giancarlo to slit my throat.
It's like we got and you're like, we got a code red here.
Security.
He just stares at you. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to get this guy out of here.
Get the straight jacket.
Oh my god.
OMG. Oh.
No, but Whitwer was cool. It seemed like he might have been like a little over signing autographs because I was at like the back of the line, but Ashley Eckstein was like one of the nicest people I've ever met.
She's a saint, literally.
Like,
yeah, Whitwer wasn't nice to me either. He just like looked at me weird and then looked at Amanda like happily again, and then Amanda gave him a big hug, and I'm just sitting there like,
Alex, do you think it might be perhaps
rejected again?
I don't know. Like Amanda's a
I
woman.
did call him Darth Maul and said I love you very much.
Oh my god.
Darth Maul / Starkiller.
I said, oh my god, it is Starkiller. Let me kiss you on the mouth.
I paid extra for tongue.
Oh.
I have a tip here. And like you're just foaming from the mouth. It's like, can you guys get this guy out of here? Jesus Christ.
No, but like Ashley, like I remember like the aide and I, like she was like, do you want to use this color marker for your thing? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then when we got to Ashley, she's like, I think we should use this one instead. And I was like, yeah, she's like, yeah, this one looks better. And it's like, all right, Ashley, I'm not gonna argue with you.
Oh, all right, Ashley.
Zach, check
Yeah,
this up.
episode dropped for me, so I might
Yeah.
Alrighty,
skedoodle.
so I'll be back too.
All right,
Yeah.
everybody.
Good, folks.
Enjoy,
Everybody-
friends.
We'll chat later.
Don't tell me what to do, Kat.
We'll see who survives.
Okay, everybody. As per usual, I'm gonna get the timer set up. Enjoy the episode if you're taking off. But let me get the timer set up. Not the timer, stopwatch. Okay. Hold, please. Disney Plus, Disney Plus. Okay, episode is showing up for me. It's called One Way Out. All right. Let me share the timer. All right. Okay, I'm starting the episode now. I'm gonna skip the recap as always. And I'm gonna watch the intro as always. So sync it up as best you can if you want. Good night, John Cena. Thanks for joining the Discord. See you, Bala. And here we go. So about a 37, 38-minute long episode, it looks like, factoring in credits. Same. I really like Andy Serkis's character. I know they're gonna kill him, but I don't want them to. Yeah, it really is. I feel like we say it every week. The intro is just perfect. So obviously this doc is a prisoner with medical training because he's not wearing the boots. Yeah, he's totally different than Claw, I think his name was. Oh, that was so close. I mean, you might as well try to riot. I still can't 100% tell if he's I think he's gonna help Andor. I mean, he seems pretty pissed. I wanna see more of the dude who rings the or he pounds the anvil. Yeah, she's pretty. It's really cool that she was originally cast in the prequels too. I love the continuity. Oh god. Very Game of Thrones-esque. Poor new guy. Oh, he got lucky. You just know something's gonna go horribly wrong. Uh, Lower levels. Oh, so this guy's a spy then. That was a long ass elevator ride. Holy shit. Man. So Andy Serkis seems like he did not escape, which I knew it would be painful. I wonder if we're ever going to see him again. I could see them just not showing him again. Oh, that was good. That was good. What did you guys think? Good episode, bad episode, okay episode? This man should be rejoining us shortly. I really enjoyed the Prison Break stuff. I really enjoyed Luthen's.
Hello there.
What up, dude?
So
Dude,
what'd you think?
what an episode. It went by really fast.
Yeah.
Did you
It-
feel that? It
yeah.
went by so fast. I thought after Cassian got out of the prison, and then obviously, he couldn't swim, which was kind of sad. I was hoping he would die like in a grandiose way. But or unless he just maybe somehow found a way off on a ship, who knows? But he
I
probably
hope so, dude. I was kind of hoping at least he would jump to just die drowning rather than die in prison or die at the Empire's hands. I thought they were just gonna have him jump. Like, even though he didn't know how to swim, it would have been powerful
yeah.
to have him jump into the unknown rather than stay and die.
Yeah, and what a way to end on
Luthen.
yeah, his dialogue, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's such a powerful figure, and obviously we get to see more of Mon Mothma too. We kind of got to see everything. That was pretty cool.
We didn't see Cyril.
Yeah, but we didn't want to see Cyril.
I wanted to see him be
Be a
creepy
simp lord?
again. Yeah, be
A simp lord.
a simp lord.
Yeah, I am not too upset about not getting any Cyril. He's like the only thing I didn't want to see, and I'm happy we didn't. The Prison Break was cool. Andor was cool. Andor just gets so lucky that he just doesn't die, all the time. And it's really cool to just see that Melshi was like there with him, during his escape, right?
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Like when I first heard his name, we didn't even talk about this last time, but when I first heard his name, I was like, oh, it's like the guy in his cockpit that because he just has one of those names, like Melshi. Like you'll remember him like Yoshi. Yeah, I don't know. He just had one of those memorable names, so I was always just kind of like, oh, it's the guy from the one movie, Um, so
What movie?
Melshi, he's in Rogue One.
He is?
Yeah, he's the pilot.
Wait, I have to look this up.
Oh, you didn't get that? Yeah, Melshi was with him in Rogue One.
Oh yeah, he's gonna die. He dies. I mean, he's gonna die in Rogue One, obviously.
He's gonna die twice, dude. He's gonna die in the show, and then he's gonna canonically come back to life in Rogue One, and then just die again.
I really wanted Kino to survive. I knew he wouldn't. There's still a chance. I guess he's alive.
A Star Wars story.
Kino, and then like, it does the whole the Mordor thing in Lord of the Rings at the end, where it like when he becomes Snoke, it like fades away. He kind of becomes Snoke.
Oh my god. They're like, oh yeah, I mean the whole purpose of putting him in the show was to show how he becomes Snoke. And then we're just like, wait, really?
We knew where this character was going from the beginning.
It's like, no, you fucking didn't. There's no goddamn way you conceived it that far ahead of time.
They do something very similar to like Gollum's trajectory in Return of the King, where it starts off it's Andy Serkis, and then it's like it twisted us, and he's like in the caves. He's going gradually more like Snoke.
He just plays the Fellowship. It's just like a movie of the Fellowship, and no one like bats an eye. Like that was a good Star Wars film. I like that one. It's like, dude, that was fucking Lord of the Rings. Like, no, it wasn't, dude. You're just a hater.
They really leaned into the fantasy.
Did I see dragons?
It was Melshi.
Yeah, dude. I'm surprised you didn't catch that.
Dude, yeah, I mean, no. I haven't seen Rogue One in a while, and I wouldn't really recognize any of the minor characters.
I think that's the only movie that I've seen. Well, because I saw it in theaters recently too. I think that was the only one that I've seen like more than once. Probably more than twice over any other Star Wars film so far. I've seen Rogue One probably 5 times the past couple of years, and I've seen like maybe Revenge of the Sith like twice.
Jesus, but plus all the editing that you do.
Yeah, that's why though. Like that's why like I don't really watch them, because I'm looking at the footage all the time. But let's see what else. How did it started off? The planning was the start off, right? The revelation and everyone working together. Oh, and then there was a speech that Andor gave to him that he repeated, and then it was nice of him to leave those guards alive and not just fry them right there.
Yeah. One way out. One way out.
Yeah. And they all just jump off the edge. I was like totally convinced. I was like, oh shit, they're all gonna die. And I was like, oh, Cassian's gonna have to find a ship. And then I was like, oh wait, no, they can just jump in the water, I guess. It's like really shallow water, dude. It's just like super shallow. Like it's just like a reef, and everyone just jumps. It's like, and then it's like it just shows like the end credits. Unrelated.
There's just sharks waiting down there for them.
Yeah. At least at that point, if there are sharks that like are really rabid and they want to eat humans right away, that like they would be too busy with like the first couple that they get, and then you can get away. So
yeah, it just I that's gut wrenching for Kino. Like imagine escaping your prison and then it's like, oh, I can't swim.
He did like a massive paradigm shift too. Like he went through a lot just to get to that point, and then he had to just give up. Like that's kind of sad.
It's horrible. Like he had like everything he ever wanted in the palm of his hand, and then it slipped away because he didn't know how to swim. I imagine he might be from like a desert planet or something, and that's why he's never even seen that much water.
He's from Tatooine.
Tatooine.
He was Anakin's best friend growing up. He's he was one of the dudes that was staring at the pod when they were making fun of him. That was him, dude. That was him.
That's
Oh,
the
it was
start
that
of his
guy.
character.
It was that guy. Remember that one guy from that one scene when they were putting together a pod racer and Jar Jar got his head stuck in the turbine? Yeah, that guy. That one guy from that one movie. Yeah. Oh,
What would you give it out of 10?
I'd say it's probably my second favorite episode. So it would probably be up there with like an 8 or 9.
Yeah, I'm kind of there too. It's between this and the Eye for me.
Yeah.
And but also the third episode was really good too. Those two plus this one
I
are
like
really
the third
close.
episode, but I think that this one is separated from this one, and then the eye were like completely separated from everything else so far.
Chat, throw your scores in the comments as well. What did you guys think? Would you grade it? I'd probably give it like an 8.75.
8.69. No, I don't know.
8.5 or 9.
I don't know. Like I feel like I'd have to watch it again and then have to like take it all into context of the whole series and everything and just what I did like that we went into the underworld a little bit. Did you
Jesus
see
Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
the man, the myth, the legend?
I did see the underworld. That was cool. I want more of that.
Yeah,
That
it wasn't Blade Runner or Cyberpunk ish,
Yeah.
right? It was like a different area of it. So it was just like all like just dark.
Slum. It looks like a
Dark
slum.
slum, yeah.
There's the longest elevator ride of all time for that dude.
Yeah, how high did he go, dude? Like Jesus.
Oh,
Yeah, like what was the time of like him getting in the elevator and then going up? Like what's that like 3 minutes?
At least, yeah.
And like the elevator goes fast. So like how high is he? And how long was Luthen just standing up there like staring?
He got all dressed up for that confrontation.
Yeah, dude, that little fucking cape in the wind. I was like, dude, he just needs to whip out a lightsaber right now.
Again, Darth Vader vibes.
Yeah. I actually had a feeling we were gonna see someone that's gonna stop them. Like not like Vader or anyone, but like someone, right? Or like
Ahsoka. Ahsoka and Vader
Ron.
and Palpatine. They all show up together.
Yeah, they just all show up together on an Imperial Lambda class shuttle
with Grogu and Mando.
Yeah, they have matching capes, and they're cackling about how excited they are to shut down the rebellion. But yeah, I actually had a feeling. I don't know. I felt like the whole I can't swim thing. I feel like the whole I can't swim thing was kind of lame. But
I think it was tragic.
It's tragic, but I feel like it was kind of lame. I felt like I would have preferred like an it concreted like, oh, he's gone because he had to do this, or he's gone because he confronted a character that we all know and love, or something. I don't know, something like that. I don't know what it would be, but I'm probably gonna go watch it again. I'll probably be like, actually, no, I take that back. It's fine. But those are just my initial thoughts.
Well, shall we?
Yeah, I think that about sums everything up. Follow us all on Discord, guys. We'll be on the podcast on Thursday, and we will have X-Wing on. And then maybe we'll start having more guests on up until the finale. That could be pretty fun. But yeah. Till next time.
See ya, everybody.
Be with you guys.